In this video, we'll be looking at sample problem 3.18, and it deals with the location of a percentile. And in the problem, we're given these 10 numbers, so we'll be using that in our calculation. And actually, one of the first things we're going to have to do is sort those in order. So I'm going to select that range, go over here to sort and filter, and put them from smallest to largest in order. So that's the first thing I need to do. And then over here is the formula to find the percentile. So LP under subs P is the location of the percentile, so it's n plus 1 divided by whatever percentile we're looking at over 100. So in this case, let's put in the n first. N is equal to, and in this case, it's going to be 10 because there's 10 numbers here. And then the P is equal to, in this case, 30. And now let's do this. We're going to go LP for 30%. And up here under P, I'm just going to highlight that. And then in the font group, in the format cells, I'm going to click that and go down here and choose subscript, which is going to lower the P just to make it a little easier to read. And I'll make that slightly bigger and go LP for 30% is equal to, and make that whole column slightly wider. And now I can do the calculation. So it's equal to, and you've got n, which I put right there in cell D2, plus 1 times P, times P divided by 100, which gives us 3.3. So that tells us that it's going to be between the third and fourth observation, and it's going to be 30% between them. So the third observation is equal to, in this case we just look over here, it's 22. And then the fourth observation is equal to 23. So then what we want to do to calculate that is we're going to take this formula of the 0.3 minus the difference between the fourth and the third observation to give us a number, and then we're going to add that back to the third number, and that will be our 30th percentile. So let me show it to you. Equal to 0.3, because that's the difference there, 3.3. So it's the third observation and 30% more, and then it's actually, yeah, I'll just do that. D7 minus D6, close. And I should have put the multiplication sign in there. So that gives us the 0.3, and then the way you calculate that is go the third observation plus that 30% of the difference between the two. In this case it's easy because there's only 1 point difference. You know, if it was 22 and 32, instead of 0.3 it would be 3, to give you an example. So in this case the 30th percentile is equal to 22.3. Now I could make this a little easier. I'm just going to copy this and put it down here, and now I'm going to make a few changes. So instead of the 30th, I'm going to make it the 80th. And so I'm just going to go ahead and format those changes. And instead of the third observation, it's going to be the 8th and the 9th. And in this case, the 8th would be 30, the 9th would be 31, and in this case I have to change this formula to 0.8 rather than 0.3. And what it does then is, instead of the 30th percentile, I now have the 80th percentile. So again, that was kind of quick, but you'll be able to look at the formula here. So again, I'll walk you through it. You've got n equal to 10 because that's the number of observations total. We're given 80 in the problem, and then we take this, and if I click up here, you'll see that it's n plus 1, so D13 is the 10 plus 1 times D14, the 80, divided by 100. So it's just this formula, which gives us 8.8. And then the 8th observation, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is 30. The 9th is 31. So down here, I'm just taking 0.8 times the difference between the 9th and the 8th. So 0.8 times 31 minus 30. And so the 80th percentile is that 30.8. And just to show you, say I switched it and instead it was 30 and 36, then 80% of that would be 4.8 and the 80th percentile would be 34.8. So it calculates it that way. So this is kind of a handy little way to do that location of percentile calculation. And if you want more information to back that up, in your textbook you will find that starting on the right column near the bottom of page 42 and then 43. So you can look there. Alright, hopefully that's helpful. That's it for 3.18.